What's up, IronBirds fans? My name is Michael Mark Cantonini, back for episode 10 of All Mic'd Up. It took us a little while to get to episode 10, the final episode of All Mic'd Up for the 2023 season, but we are finally here. I've got IronBirds manager Roberto Mercado joining me on episode 10 of All Mic'd Up. Berto, thanks for doing this, man.
No problem, Mike. Thanks for having me.
It seems like it's gone pretty fast, at least on my end, in the time that I've spent in Aberdeen so far, a little bit over a year. For you, it's two full seasons in professional baseball managing the IronBirds, gone just like that. How does it feel?
It was amazing, man. Blessed for the opportunity to be here, and it does go by quick, man. Some people say, "Oh, it's a grind of a job," and I don't consider it a grind. If you love what you do, it's not a grind. You get to go to a ballpark every day, and try to create an elite learning environment for our players, and seeing them perform every single night. So it's been a blast the past 2 years. Definitely blessed for the opportunity.
A lot of wins in Aberdeen, a lot of guys, you just seen the development day in and day out. But before we get into some of that stuff and working with the guys who have come through Aberdeen, I want to talk to you about your pretty unique background. So you were the dean of students up at a high school in New Britain, Connecticut, your hometown, high school baseball coach. You coached in the Cape Cod League for years. You've coached international tournaments. How would you sum up your career prior to joining the Orioles organization?
Just a lot of hard work, and again, kind of being where your feet are. And I never really looked at the next job, or never really put my mind into that. I just focused on wherever I'm at, try to be the best of where I'm at, and try to develop players, and enjoy the ride with the guys. With Dean of Students, I was there from 2004, 2005 till 2 years ago, 2021. So being a Dean of Students is very similar, like a vice principal. So guys would come in, calm them down. Sometimes they deserve an attention, a suspension, whatever the case may be. Sometimes you got to be a dad, a father figure. So there's a lot of different hats you got to wear, and very similar in coaching as well. So just finding that good mix of making sure you're taking care of the guys, but also teaching them as well. So I think that carried on into baseball, and blessed with the opportunity. Got a call from Matt Blood, and for an opportunity to join the organization, and been happy and blessed.
So you talk about a lot of the similarities between working with school students and then professional baseball players. Well, of course, a lot of differences as well. I mean, it's a different mindset, but the common denominator there is you're working with people. You're a people person. So how would you say specifically going from working with students and young adults that prepared you to manage in professional baseball?
Yeah, I think just dealing with different kind of personalities from kids and to adults. I mean, everybody's different, everybody's unique, and trying to find a way to have everybody pushing in the same direction. I think that's what the Orioles do a great job of. They hire people that kind of see that vision, and help push the Baltimore Orioles to the top, and that's the end goal. So I think that's where it meshes in with in regards to the classroom, and being a kind of vice principal, dean of students, is getting those guys in, getting them to get back locked in on what their focus is and what they need to do, so they can get back in the classroom where they can get back on the field and perform at a high level. And it's not always about the results, it's about the process of it. And we always talk about that, and making sure guys are just getting a little bit better every single day. And just like with kids, like nobody's gonna be perfect. You skip 5 classes a week, let's skip 4 classes next week. All right, and let's continue getting better every single day. So I think finding that way to communicate with guys and letting them know that you care about them. I think that's the biggest thing too, is that guys need to know how much you care before they know how much you know. And I think that's huge in education and in life, man. That's for anything in life.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the things that you just said there in that answer alone, I mean, it translates from one to the other. And, we've seen it work, obviously in Aberdeen, the entire Orioles organization the last couple of years. But you mentioned Matt Blood and him, giving you a call, and that got the ball rolling to bring you aboard in the Orioles org. So how did that all come about, and how did you end up specifically with the Baltimore Orioles organization to manage the IronBirds?
I'll never forget this. I was actually with my girlfriend at the time, not my wife, and just finished making dinner. I got a phone call and picked it up, and he's like, "Hey, this is Matt Blood from the Baltimore Orioles, director of player development." I thought it was a prank call. I'm like, "Why is this guy calling me?" To be honest. Yeah, he said he got my name from somebody that he trusts, and wanted to give me an interview. And that's kind of how it all happened. I wasn't really looking for a job. I was, pretty content. I was, dean of students at the high school. I'd work from September to June. Then I would go off to the Cape from June to August, get to live in the Cape and coach obviously the best players in the country. So that was awesome. And, things were good. And then, kind of took a gamble on yourself. You hear people talk about that all the time about, hey, let's take a chance here. I've been at the school for 18 years. And it's like, man, I'm 7 years away from getting a retirement, and it's like, you know what? I know I'd regret this for the rest of my life if I didn't give myself an opportunity to go through this. And I'm glad I did, man. I'm loving every second of it. And, like I said, get to go to a ballpark every day and be surrounded by a great staff and, great players and a great atmosphere with everybody in the organization.
You've developed this saying that I think really perfectly captures what minor league baseball is all about. When guys go from Aberdeen to Bowie and get that promotion up to the next level, which, everybody's shooting for in their careers, you say, hate to see you go, but love to see you leave. How did that start?
To be completely honest with you, I don't think I saw it anywhere. I just kind of just made it up. I was like, hey man, hate to see you go, but love to see you leave. And I was like, man, that kind of flows pretty good. So maybe we'll just keep doing this every single time a guy gets called into the office. And yeah, that's kind of how it's come up. It's one of those where, man, I'd love to see this guy continue to perform at a high level for us. But at the end of the day, that's the end goal, is to continue moving guys up and get to call them in the office. So yeah.
What does that mean to you, being able to tell these guys that they're going up to the next level and continuing to chase their dreams?
It means everything. I mean, at the end of the day, as a staff, that's what our job is. Our job is to try to create an elite learning environment where guys are going to perform well, guys are going to fail, and then get the results on the field, and then obviously get to call them in and have them reach that next level. And I mean, that's more important than winning and anything else that we do. I mean, last year, first year, we obviously had a great team and had a ton of success. Won the first half for the first time in a while, and that was awesome. But getting to call the guys in, that's the biggest pleasure, being in my position, is getting to call a guy in. So that'll always stay the same, and until maybe in the future one day when it's all about winning. Right now, winning to me is helping guys perform and get to the next level.
We see it a lot on social media nowadays. A lot of times when guys go from AAA to the big leagues, we see the videos. Sometimes there's a hidden camera. The manager surprises the guy going up. Sometimes they already anticipate it. But when you promote guys, have you had any instances where the guy had no idea it was coming, or it was just really special, that moment between you and the player?
A couple times it's happened where some guys have a feel that usually the promotions happen on Sunday after a game, and it's always a little like guys are kind of sitting around the clubhouse a little bit longer to see what's going on, see who's going to get called in. And there was a couple players that it was awesome. Like John Rhodes was one last year that he got called up, and he was working his tail off and finally got that phone call, and it was almost like a relief for him. He was so pumped and so emotional, and we all get emotional because we all care, man. And I thought that was a huge one last year. That was big. And then obviously my first one ever was actually he was there for like a week. I wish I got to know him a little bit more. But then the group, the Kobe Mayo, the Colton Cowser, and the Norby, the three together, that was awesome. Our big thing also was your off days on Monday, Tuesday to Sunday, get ready to play every single day. If you're not in the starting lineup day, that means you're not in the starting lineup. That doesn't mean it's your off day. So be ready to come off the bench. We want to prepare you guys when you get to the big leagues. You saw with Heston Kjerstad this year. He got called up to the big leagues, wouldn't start, maybe come in a pinch hit in a big time spot in the eighth inning. So we want to make sure guys are prepared, for that situation, and not being their first time in the big leagues and all of a sudden they're pinch hitting. So that was a big thing. And we joked around about that when I called them in the office. I said, hey guys, I know tomorrow is really your off day on Monday, but it's not your off day. You guys are going to be busy. You guys are going to be packing up your stuff and heading off to Bowie. So it was awesome. It was a great feeling, and seeing those guys smile, and again, seeing them move on to the next level and ultimately getting them to achieve their goal and making it to the big leagues is the biggest thing.
I want to hear your perspective on this. So you're bilingual, and you've had a lot of native Spanish speaking players come through Aberdeen in the last 2 years, and obviously working with others throughout spring training and in other instances. How have you been able to make these Spanish speaking players that may not speak much English feel comfortable and help them grow as baseball players the last couple of years?
For sure. I mean, it helps with the translating, and guys kind of understand what's going on, especially like in meetings where it's like, all right, it's not as much physical things where you can show somebody physically. It's a lot more talking and being able to translate and help guys out. And if they have any questions, and also want guys to feel comfortable to learn to speak English as well. I think that's going to be a skill for them as they keep moving up, whether it's to do interviews like this, just feel more comfortable with their teammates. I think that's all part of the process too, that nobody thinks about. We had a Cesar Prado last year who didn't speak a lick of English last year, and every day we throw stuff at him in English, and have him work on it, and next thing you know, he's fan favorite. Everybody loves him. All his teammates love him. He's learning English and things like that. So I think it's a benefit. Obviously, somebody that they can relate to instantly without even kind of knowing me. They can be like, all right, hey, this guy's Hispanic. Maybe I can connect with him a little bit better, and at the end of the day, if I'm doing my job right, I'm connecting with everybody, no matter where they're from, and I think that's something that's extremely important.
Managing a professional baseball team, that's a job, but just being in baseball in general, that's a lifestyle. And I see it on the broadcast side, you see it from playing and now coaching. How have you been able to get the support to do this with your career from your wife and the rest of your family back home?
Yeah, I mean, the wife, obviously, she's the big piece in all of this. I mean, she takes care of the house when I'm gone, the dog. She has to do so many different things. And, I'm blessed to have a beautiful wife who's, I wouldn't say allows me to do what I do, but is super supportive of what I do. And she knows I love this, and she knows this is a big part of me and who I am, and super supportive. And I try to return the favor when I get back home, and making sure she's taken care of and make sure everything's all set. So when she gets home, she has less things to do. In regards to my friends and family, we get the opportunity to play at Hudson Valley, which is about an hour and 10 minutes away from my hometown. So, I mean, there's every single year I'll have about, no lie, between 50 and 150 people come to Hudson Valley on a weekend. So it's pretty cool. It's exciting, and they're all part of it. And being from New Britain, inner city, you hear a lot of negative things about New Britain, and a lot of people are pumped when I get back here. They're super proud, and like, hey man, you represent New Britain in a positive light, man. It's awesome. So it's special.
So let's talk about representing New Britain, your hometown. So during the 2022 playoffs, you asked me to give a shout out to the people back home on the broadcast one night. So tell me about hard hitting New Britain and the people back there.
Yeah, I mean, a great group, very passionate, very blue collar town and or city, and guys work really hard to try to get out of here and try to do things well. I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of wasted talent here. There's a lot of really, really good athletes that don't make it out because they make poor choices, and ultimately, that's kind of one of the reasons why I stayed in New Britain. I was born and raised here. I worked at the school, and I saw the kids that, man, we could help change some kids' lives, and I think that's kind of what forced me, not forced me, but that's what kind of propelled me to stay in New Britain and continue to work. And this is my hometown. I come back here now, and it's cool, man. I'll go out to watch a football game at the local golf course over here. They got a nice restaurant bar area, and see a bunch of people come up to me and just chat away a little bit, kind of catch up, see how things are going. So it's pretty cool hearing guys that they're following the journey and things like that. So definitely blessed, and proud to be from hard hitting New Britain.
The hometown roots run deep. I'll wrap this interview up with a quick rapid fire round. First one, I've asked this to a couple of the guys throughout the season this year. What's something that you're really good at that most people don't know about?
Really good at. All right. Pretty good at poker. Believe it or not, when I was about 23, 24 years old, I almost left the job as dean of students and was going to go play professional poker, actually. So big time poker player. So a lot of players always ask me for advice on things.
Okay. All right. How about of places you've never been before? What's your dream vacation?
Ooh, dream vacation. I'd love to go to Italy with somebody give me a tour of all the great places to eat and all the great spots. I wouldn't want to go there with just me and my wife. I want it planned, and I want to go to Italy.
Favorite players growing up as a kid, major league players?
Bernie Williams. I was a big I was a center fielder, switch hitter, so that was the guy I always loved. So Bernie Williams, my one guy, and Roberto Clemente, who I was actually named after. I wish I played like him, but Roberto Clemente.
I know Connecticut's got some awesome pizza. Best spot that you've had pizza from?
Anywhere in the New Haven, the trio, the Pepe's Pizza, you got Mondo, and you got Sally's. So any one of those three spots, and they're about a mile and a half from each other, if that. Definitely go there if you ever come to CT down in New Haven area.
All right, one more for you, Berto. If you could, let's say, you say you're a poker guy. If you could play poker or golf or, just have dinner with, you get to pick three people and then yourself for a group of four. What three people would you pick and why?
That's a great question, man. Are they all alive right now, or
Well, let's go with three people you've never met before, but just,
okay?
people you idolize, something like that.
Three people I've never met before. Let's go with Roberto Clemente would be one. He'd be sitting at the dinner table. I'd love to talk shop with him. Man, that's a good question. Might just be me and Roberto Clemente for now.
That ain't bad.
You
I
know,
mean, stick with
you know
that.
what? I'm gonna go with Earl Weaver.
Okay.
I'd love to pick his brain. back in the day and how he used to manage and how he dealt with players. So
Little Orioles connection there.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I
I'm
like
taking
it.
those two guys.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I might join you. I'll take that fourth spot. Roberto, thanks for doing this. Great way to end this season of interviews.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all the work that you did all year, man. You did a great job. All the fans, my family, all the players' parents, everybody's super pumped that we have a broadcaster, and you did a heck of a job representing us in a great way. So thank you for all you do.
Appreciate it, man. Hey, look, I love doing it, and just looking to get better and have more fun every single day. So it was my
Sure.
pleasure. That's a wrap for episode 10 of All Mic'd Up, featuring Aberdeen IronBirds manager Roberto Mercado.